the guy whose album I first bought many, many years ago. All right, you look kind of like maybe, I don't know, a romance guy?
Yeah, well, I like the score, too. I'm going to go with the score.
There you go.
We're getting big boats this week.
I do have one question for you guys, though. Does anybody know what Julia Roberts has been up to lately?
Yeah, no, she's been off the map. We haven't really heard about her. There's nothing going on.
I think he's trying to make me jealous.
Yeah, she's very available. So if you bump into her in Hollywood, get her number.
I'm not, unfortunately. I'm happily married.
Now, we are going to talk to you a little bit later.
Plenty.
All right, so we'll talk to you.
But first, we got the hottest stories from the Hollywood Hot Sheet.
That's
Take it away.
right. The biggest stories of the week in the Hollywood Hot Sheet. People magazine reporting.
Baby, let's cruise away from the heat. Don't be confused. The way is clear. And if you want it, you got it forever. This is not a one-night stand.
Not a bad leading lady.
No way.
As we get the sirens and horns behind us, welcome back to Entertainment Coast to
They're
Coast.
just cheering for the song. That's all.
In the spotlight, or we should say in the sunlight this week, Huey Lewis belting it out with Gwyneth Paltrow, as you just saw in duets. And he's arriving by special escort. He's got a police escort. No, he doesn't.
There he is right now.
Huey, come on in.
Oh, wow. Are you feeling all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Good, all right. Well, the Grammy Award winner's got a brand new CD out. It's called Plan B. And he's here with us, obviously, now to talk about it.
Welcome.
When is this coming out?
July 24th.
So everybody has to rush out, obviously, to go out there.
And you might want to go to the stores July 23rd and
Camp out, get ready, yeah. Now, you're touring this summer in support of the album all over the country. You're going to be in this area, the New York area, for people who are in this area, about
August 4th, on the Jones Beach. But we're pretty much everywhere this summer.
Is it a national tour?
Yeah, we're starting on the East Coast, so we'll be here, up and down.
check your local listings all around the country.
Now, how about the acting thing? I mean, obviously, we just saw you in duets. Are you doing anything else?
That acting thing.
The acting thing.
I mean, I'll be honest. Fortunately, I don't have to make my living acting, so I'm able to pick and choose. And when there's a role where there's real acting required, it's really fun to do, very creative.
And then some singing was kind of a bonus.
That's right. In duets it was, and the real bonus, of course, is what a great singer Gwyneth is.
Yeah, I think that shocked a lot of people. Now, your passion, though, is obviously still music.
Yes.
And tell us about this album. Is it a departure from anything you've done previously?
Well, it is. I mean, it's called Plan B, mainly because this is the first record. We sort of did it on our own dime. We didn't have a record label. We made the record ourselves and then sold it. And
did you have to do it that way, or did you not get signed? I mean,
not really.
You're Huey Lewis.
No, we chose to do it that way because, for once, we didn't have anybody looking over our shoulder. And, for years we've made records, first of all, with somebody looking over our shoulder, also knowing that they're going to get played on the radio immediately. And it was liberating. I mean, we knew this one, we didn't even know it was going to be released, let alone played on the radio. So creatively, we were able to do it kind of the way we wanted to.
And you added some guys. There are more news. There's bigger news.
More news, yeah. We added a three-piece horn section about 6 years ago to replicate a record we had out called Four Chords several years ago, which was the Rhythm and Blues tribute. And we fell in love with the band, so we wrote this record really for the band, and we wrote the songs, arranged them, and then just simply captured those performances in the studio as opposed to creating them in the studio.
Now, I was telling you a little earlier, your album was the first album I bought along with Adam in the Ants. Back then, did you think that you were going to have this longevity?
Where is Adam in the Ants?
I think he's just an ant now.
He's in the next block.
The ant
We have him
stomped
after
on.
you.
He's in the next segment.
Yeah.
Adam.
No.
Did you think you'd last this long?
Well, I never really thought about it.
Not saying that you're ancient or anything.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was the objective. The objective is to have a career, and fortunately, we've attained that objective, which has been great. The challenge is now for us to create it. But did we know? No. I mean, in the beginning, we're just taking it a day at a time, and it's so busy, you're just trying to keep your head above water.
But why do you think you have longevity? I guess is the question.
I think it's my golden, pure voice.
I'm not going to argue with that at all.
Listen, the other thing I want to ask you about is a guy named Robert Zemeckis, who's a big director now, and at Spielberg, some guy named Steven comes along years ago and says, we've got a movie called Back to the Future. They get you to do a song called The Power of Love. Did you have any idea that thing was going to become such an icon?
I knew it was a great song, actually. I felt like it was one of our best songs. It's interesting because we had a meeting with them, and they asked would we write a song for the film, and I explained that I didn't know how to do that, but we'd send them the next two things we wrote. The next thing we wrote was Power of Love. And they used it wonderfully, and obviously it was a great send-off. But you never know. I mean, we write most of our songs ourselves and produce them all ourselves, so, you just kind of do them, and some of them fly and some don't.
And Huey has a little part in that movie.
Oh, does
You
he?
play the judge in one of the scenes, don't you?
That's true.
You did your research.
That's true, yeah. It was a big 7 seconds for me in that movie.
Well, more than me.
You'll slow it down. You'll rent it and actually play it in slow-mo.
Huey. Thank you so much. For a kid that loved your music back then, I love it now. So.
The new album is called Plan B, and it is out in stores July 24th, so camp on the 23rd.
Great.
Huey Lewis, thanks a
you,
lot.
Huey.
All right, what's coming up next?
Well, Hollywood's poking fun at those messy celebrity breakups.